Hi and good evening and welcome to THFC Till I Die. And tonight we are doing a special. We're doing a player golden profile. Izhan's been busy in the background doing his work, doing his thing, and we've come up with a belter for you tonight. It is. We're doing the career of a German ace who was at club for 2 seasons, one for 94, 95, and the other one was 97 and 98, I think, the second season. He is the German ace. He is the one and only Jurgen Klinsmann. But before we get into all that, we've got to do a bit of housekeeping. So, firstly, Izhan, our, our little genius, who is our little junior statsman, who comes up with all these brilliant player profiles. He can pick a player out of thin air and tell you everything about him. He is a genius. He is our statsman of our channel. And Izhan, how are you this evening? And how is the weather in lovely Canada?
Doing pretty well. It's actually kind of cold. I'm pretty sure it's gonna rain today, so it's pretty cold. Like based on what we were having in the past few weeks. But yeah, overall, I've been doing pretty well. Thanks for asking.
And down below, well, this woman needs no introduction the world over. If this woman was running for president or prime minister, she would get in on a winning landslide. No problem whatsoever. And the only thing she would do is to make supporting Spurs a number one priority for everyone in the country.
That's right.
She really is the queen of all the Spurs channels, but she's the queen on this channel. It's Queen Elly Holberg. How are you, Elly?
I'm very well, thank you, Dermot. I'm looking forward to this show and hearing all about our World Cup winning star, Jurgen Klinsmann. Come on.
Yeah, that is so true. So true. Right, I just want to firstly thank our Patreon members, Philip Brady, who is the godfather of this channel, another member of our crew, Izhan, Elly, and also Mark, who's away on his holiday, who's been showing catches of his fish on our little WhatsApp group. So
I think it's the same fish.
Maybe it is the same fish. Who knows? One fish looks.
We'll have to ask him.
He was saying that this is the biggest fish he's caught. I mean, it did look as big as the other one, but we'll find out on Sunday when he comes back. But yeah, if you do want to become a member, the link is on the YouTube channel. It's only $3.99 a month. We've got three tiers: $3.99, $4.99, and $9.99. With the middle tier, you get a free mug, which at the moment we're going to sort out merchandise as well for this season. We're going to have hats and mugs and everything else. But please, and you get to come on during the post-match shows. We'll invite all our members on. You can have your say. Even for the watch-alongs, you can join us for them and just tell us what you think and how the match is going. So please do. It's a great help for us, for the channel, and it helps us grow. So thank you so much indeed for that.
Yeah.
Right, we'll get through some of the comments here. We've got Paul Brown. Good evening, Paul. It says, evening panel, and all is in the chat. Hashtag back Conte. In it, yes. Actually open the wallets, relax on the PR. Big up, Paul. Big up, Paul. And then we have our lovely lads from Denver, Colorado. Mile High Hotspur.
Parker
was on their show last Saturday. Absolute had a corker of a time. Good lads. And he says, "What's up, my homies?" Very American, isn't it?
My
homies. Big up. Much love from Denver, Colorado, and Colorado Spurs and Mile High Hotspur. Please, everyone, get over to that channel. Like it, subscribe it, please. It's a great little new channel, and the lads are really lovely. So big up, lads, and we'll have you on here soon. Carl Simpson. Big up, Carl. This is good evening panel chat. Hope all is well. We're grand, Carl. Thank you for dropping in,
Carl.
And this is Elly's niece, Drew LA. Big up, Drew. Lovely to have you back. She says, evening all, Auntie Elly, locked in. Big up, Drew. And thank you for coming this evening. I haven't seen this fella in a while, Moondog. Moondog, it's great to have you back, sir. How have you been keeping? Are you getting ready for your diabet on Saturday? Let us know. I hope he scores for you. I really do. It says, good evening, Dermot, Elly, and Izhan. Good evening. And this is a man we owe a debt to. Really, he does all our thumbnails. He does our intro. He's even updating our new intro. Bless him.
What a brilliant intro as well.
Nick, you are a diamond. This channel owes you an awful lot, man. We can't thank you enough for everything you do for us. And please, he really is. This man's a genius. If his hand's a genius in stats and players, this man is a genius in thumbnails and intros. He really is a diamond. So big up, Lazy 8. Thanks for joining in, and I hope you enjoyed the show, sir.
Respect.
And here we go. We've got my mate from New Zealand, Shamu, who sends me a video of him doing Ronaldo, and it's so brilliant. But he's got a cat, which is the cutest cat you'll ever see. It was our theme. It was our animal poster for the old channel. So Shamu was I forget his cat's name, but it's a lovely cat. But Shamu, big up. So he says, Patrick debut goal on the weekend. Yes, please. We all want that.
Yes.
And then we've got Mile High Hotspur. Thanks for the pod, Dermot. No problem, sir. And Lazy 8 with the pen. No problem, Nick. You do a fantastic job for us. Right, lads. How are we this evening? Spurs. We're linked with a player from Udinese, Izhan.
Yeah.
Don't know much about him. So can you explain to the people watching and to us, do you know much about him? And it looks like it's going to be a loan deal, possibly loan back to Udinese again. How do you feel about that? And with us looking for a centre back, where do you think we need to really strengthen before the window's out?
Yeah, look, so Destiny Udogie is the player. He's a left back / left wing back. He's only 19 years old. He's considered a top talent in the Cereer. I believe he had 6 assists this season. He's been performing really well. And he's only 19, so a lot of big clubs are interested. I heard Man City were linked with him. United were linked with him as well. So yeah, he's a top talent. I feel if we do buy him, it'll be a loan back deal, like with Pape Sarr. But overall, it's a pretty talented player. Some people say Levy signing. I just think it's one for the future. But yeah, overall, if we did sign him for a reasonable fee, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think he has a lot of upside and he could be a top player for us in the future.
Elly, we've got Carl Simpson here saying Destiny's a good player, but I don't want to be loaning players back again. We need to sort out our team out. What would you say to Carl Simpson?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him because he's only young, the boy. So we're not going to actually bring him in and play him. The only way he's going to get a game is if we get injuries, right? So I can't see the point in it, but I suppose maybe bring him in next season when he's 20, give him another year and then see how he goes because he's only 19. We've got players at our club who are left backs as well, who are probably thinking, I've been here all my life since I was 8-9 years old, and they're bringing in 19-year-olds to replace us. So it doesn't give much confidence to those young players in our academy. You see, so you've got to look at it from that aspect as well.
That's so true. And we've got Drew here saying, I'm all for buying these young players, but a loan back deal, I want player now. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my sort of attitude on it. It's all right buying these. Sorry, Elly. What were you going to say, Elly? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I was just going to say, of course, because Andrula, like me, we know our footballers. And if you get somebody who's ready-made, like Perisic, he's ready-made. You can't, but he's not going to play 30, 40 games for us solid in one block. He'll probably play about 20 and then, hopefully he won't pick up an injury. We're keeping our fingers crossed for that one. But, it's something we've got to look at ready-made players for now so that we can challenge for this league title. Is Dermot gone? We lost Dermot.
I'm not sure. Maybe his Wi-Fi's gone or something. But yeah, I do agree. I know a left wing back isn't the priority, especially one for the future. But the thing is, if we wait until like next season, I think another club would come in for him because I just checked his stats and he has 5 goals and 3 assists this season in the Serie A.
Yeah.
He's
And
played
how many
for,
games did he play?
let me see.
Like 4 matches from the start.
Played all the games.
All the games.
Yeah.
So it's not fantastic. It's not like out there.
But as a
Like,
left back, 5
yeah.
goals, 3 assists as a left back, as a
The
19-year-old.
goals is good. The goals is good, I must admit. Yeah, because we need more goals in our side. I think the priority is to get that creative midfielder who can score goals and create and get the right wing back position. I think Spence is going to surprise a lot of people, Izhan, because
Yeah,
I've been watching him a lot, and my brother phoned me up today and said he's very excited about him, and he doesn't really get excited about players unless they're, the real deal. So he's just got to get used to the Premiership pace, that's all. And I think Conte will get him up to speed in training anyway. So we've got a good one there. Yeah.
Shamu here. Didn't we just sign a young lad as fullback called Spence? Yeah, this guy's a left
Yeah.
back. So Destiny Udogi. He is talented. Like if we signed him for like 10 million, 12 million pounds, loaned him back, I don't think that's like anything too bad, as long as we do get our other signings, because I do think we need a center back as well.
Has he been chosen for his national team?
Yeah, he played for Italy under 21s. Not the senior squad yet, but yeah,
that's pretty good then. They rate him then. If you make it internationally at 19 years old, he'd probably be.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch him after the stream finishes. Definitely.
He played for Italy under 16s, under 17, under 18, under
Very
19,
good.
and under 20.
Yeah.
So he's been known in Italy for a while now.
Yeah, and I'm sure our new stats man, who's in charge of all our statistical stuff, the new scout, he does all the statistical stuff for us. I'm sure he's done his homework on him and he's recommended him.
Yeah, can I ask you two a question on that?
Yes, of course.
Apologies, I had to start off. Sorry, I just had to go to the bathroom. Do apologize.
No worries.
Don't worry.
Do you feel Paratici is building something special? I've got this feeling that we're building like we always had the house that Bill built. Are we seeing the house that Conte and Paratici built? Do you feel they're putting the foundations in, not just for now, but for the next 20, 30 years? That when a manager does come to replace Conte, there's no rebuilding. It's just another continuing on. And on the Conte, when Conte does leave, do you feel that we could be looking at Ryan Mason to take over from him and sort of have a continuing in the management department as well? I'll start with Elly on that one.
I feel with the Mason issue, I don't think he's quite there yet. He's not going to be a top manager. We saw him in the League Cup final, what mistakes he made. Right. And no, I don't think that one's a goer, but I think he'll be good as a young academy coach and possibly the under 23s. Yeah. I think that's his niche. I don't think he's quite ready for big management yet. All right. So in terms of Conte and Paratici building their house, they're putting building blocks in. And then they've got to ship out all the ones they don't want because they know we've got weaknesses and they're not stupid. Conte especially. He knows that Dyer's not good enough. He knows that Davies is not good enough. He knows Emerson and Doherty are not good enough. He knows there's certain weaknesses in our team. So what he's doing, he's plugging holes. And then the biggest hole he's got to plug, I think, is that centre-back position. Because I think you win leagues with defences that are fantastic, and we were the 4th best defence, and we finished 4th. So that's the proof of the pudding, isn't it? At the end of the day, they are making their own stamp on the team, but I want to see more before the transfer window shuts. 100%. We've got to strengthen in depth.
We do. I want to say a big up to Dave, my Irish brother.
Yes.
Great to see you in the chat, Dave. I think your internet is being fixed. We would love to know what you're going to do to counter what this man's done. This is brilliant. A big update. Thanks for tuning in, sir. It's always an honour to have you on the show.
Yes.
Izhan, I feel when I'm watching Sanchez and Dyer, they're a bit like the Titanic. You know they're going to hit the iceberg, right? And they're going to sink somewhere along the grain. Sanchez or Dyer are going to make a mistake. Who do you think we need to come in to replace them? And how do you, if you have to place one, who would you leave out? Do you know what I mean? Who would you get in to replace?
Well, if I had to bring in a center back signing, I'd pick Nikola Milenkovic from Fiorentina. Like, I'm being realistic here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say sign Ruben Diaz from Man City. Like, let's be realistic. But Nikola Milenkovic from Fiorentina, I think he's a top-class center back. He's really, really tall, very strong. He's one of the best center backs aerially. He can actually pass a ball. His dribbling is quite underrated as well. I think he'd be perfect.
I know.
Back three.
I've been watching him, and I agree with you, Izhan. He's really good on the ball.
I'm sorry.
For a tall lad, he's really good. What are you laughing at, Dermot?
I'm just laughing at Shamus. Shamus said, you should just go and chop one of his wires, David. Do his electricity wire or something. Super glue it up.
Yeah, who is this neighbour? We need to get him. We need to get him and have a good chat with him.
I'm sorry, Izhan and Elly. I didn't mean. I just thought that was just.
It's all right. Don't worry. It's always good to have a laugh, Dermot.
Carl Simpson, Milovic for Dyer.
Milenkovic.
No, I do that for Sanchez. We need Sanchez gone from me. Sanchez is our Titanic. So, would you agree with that, guys?
Yeah, I agree. Sanchez has to.
He has to go.
Big up,
He's just. Do you know what it is with Sanchez? Right, he's an athlete, but he's not a footballer.
I agree.
He hasn't got a football brain. He can make the run back to recover, but then what he'll do, he'll trip up over himself. He'll trip up arse over heel, won't he?
Well,
And
you
then-
look at the game when we played in the Conference League against who was it? Against we're away against that is it Mora?
I think it was Lask, where he was getting turned inside out
By a farmer. This man worked as a farmer.
No, Enes Mura as well.
I think it was Enes Mura. He had a dreadful game. It's almost like they don't care about those matches.
They don't. They
I
don't have the right mentality.
Do you feel that even last season when Nuno was in charge, even when Conte came in, do you think it's taken them this long to get them to care about the club again, get them to care about wearing the shirt? I mean, how many times last season were we pulling our hair out and at games and game? I mean, I can remember Sanchez eating the grass at Man City one year. I mean,
what about
how
the one
frustrating
at the Emirates as well?
Don't get me started
Where he gave a penalty away.
How frustrated have you been, and how pleased are you for what we've done this transfer window, and the season we've got coming up? How more relaxed are you this time round than you were, say, this time last season? I'll start with you, Izhan.
Yeah, look, overall pretty satisfied with the transfer window. I think we brought in, good signings, like signings we needed. I like Richarlison. I like Basuma. I thought Perisic looked really good. I thought that was a good signing. And also Longley as well. I've been impressed with in preseason. So overall, all the signings have been good. We'll see how Spence performs, but I'm fairly confident that he can do a job as well.
Yeah.
And overall, if we get, a center back like Milenkovic, even if we don't sign a creative midfielder, if we can get that top class center back, I'll be very content going into the season.
Yeah.
Elly, I want to see can you answer this question by your niece. We need a cam.
Yeah, I agree with my niece.
Do you agree with that, or do you think we need to concentrate on the defence, on the centre back? Where does your loyalty lie now?
Well, if I had to choose one, I would go for the centre back. But if I've got, because we haven't got a choice of one, we can have both. So the creative midfielder, we've always had a creative midfielder at Spurs, haven't we? We've had Modric, we've had Hoddle, we've had Ginola, we've had Van der Vaart, we've had Mickey Hazard. You know, we've all Ericsson. We've always had a creative midfielder. Well, that's another story. But
that is really another story.
I know. But the thing is, we don't look attractive as a football team. Without the creative, we look very military.
Yeah.
And it's not so exciting to watch, Dermot. When I go to Spurs, in the past, I've been excited, and we've had lesser teams in terms of talented, all-round talent. Yeah? Because we've got very good talent in very good spots. Yeah? But I still want that creative midfielder because it gives us that edge, and it will give us goals as well.
Yeah,
especially against the low block teams where we have to open them up. Because a lot of teams come to White Hart Lane and defend. So we've got to learn how to break them down. Perisic would be good at that because he can pick out a pass. Bentancur's pretty good at picking a pass out, but they're still not a creative midfielder. I really want a creative. I agree with my niece.
I love Bentancur. Izhan.
He's a very good player.
Yeah, Izhan with a cam. I mean, we've been linked with Madison. We've been linked with the Roma fella. Yeah, I mean, Conte has been said to, I think was said to Alistair Gold that he's not really keen on Madison because of his attitude. Do you think all these, like Madison is a good player, he takes a great free kick. Who would you, if you had to pick up anybody else, you can pick one for Paratici, that's who I want us to go for. Who would you go for?
Like we're talking realistic here, right?
Yeah, realistic. Be realistic.
Bruno Fernandes. I'm kidding.
No, that's long gone. I would say Jack Grealish, but that's long gone too.
If I were to like pick someone realistic, I go for Tielemans. To be honest with you, I think he's better than Madison. I think since he's nearing the end of his deal, the price is also better. He also has a better attitude, I feel, Tielemans. So, I'd go for Tielemans. I think Madison is a bit overpriced. Leicester wants £60 million. I wouldn't be willing to pay that much, to be honest. Newcastle are bidding 50 million. I think that's too much for Madison still. So I'd go for Tielemans, pay around 30 million pounds for him.
Elly, got Carl Simpson here. We've got a couple of good from Carl Simpson. It firstly said we need all of them, about all the players we've talked about tonight. So
we do.
We need all of them. And then he's put this one. Let's face it, the teams in the 90s were rubbish. Yeah, they actually were. But they still attacked and played exciting football, just couldn't defend. I mean, you go back to the Aussie years, which we will be with the Jurgen Klinsmann, which we're going to get onto in a minute. And Aussie's sort of thing was the famous five. Do you remember them, Elly? The famous
of course, yeah.
You had Nick Barmby, you had Darren Anderton, you had Teddy Sheringham,
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Who was the fifth one?
God, now you've got me. Who was it?
Anyway, I'll let you think about it, and then I'll tell story.
Yeah, it's going to come to me.
Yeah, they had a team meeting before the season, and Aussie's attitude was he had. It was Cooper that told me this story, and I cried myself laughter for a good 5 minutes when he told me. And Aussie's sort of attitude was, right, I want you to give the ball to Teddy, and everyone attack.
Yeah.
And Teddy Sheringham's words were, boss, who's going to defend? Aussie's words were, we'll work that out later. I mean, Aussie. I remember, where did we go? I went to see them that season. And it was the season before, sorry. And it was, I think we were playing Leeds at home. And we're in the relegation battle. And Aussie's thing was just attack. Bring on Ronnie Rosenthal. I mean, there's another player that was...
Yeah, oh my God.
The one he missed that open goal for Liverpool. On Churung goal. Yeah. He had no goalkeeper and he hit the crossbar.
bit like Darren Bent.
Yeah, exactly. They were, but I think the 90s, though they were tough for us, they were fun.
Yeah.
They really were. I think you could pick like Jake. I mean, the 90s were good. I mean, what a year.
Yeah, we started it off good by winning the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it just went apart. But then at the end of the year, we won the League Cup.
It says a lot that we employed an ex-Arsenal manager and he won us a trophy.
I know.
That's very. I mean, we are doing the show next week on the Sugar years. We're going to rate every Sugar manager he picked. From I think it was right from the first manager up to Georgie Graham, and then that should be a great show. I'm looking forward to doing that one. We've got Shamu. He said 40 million and GLC. Shamu said fifth one, Philip Brady. I'm sure Philip was there actually.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, Nick Barmby. There's another great player.
We said Nick Barmby, didn't we?
Yeah, Nicky Barmby. Who's the fifth one? You had Darren Anderton. Teddy Sheringham. Jurgen Klinsmann. Was it Popescu?
Yeah. Popescu was a midfielder, though, wasn't he?
Or was it Dimitrescu, the other Romanian?
Could have been Dimitrescu.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's the
Dimitrescu.
One. Yeah,
Dimitrescu. Yeah, because he was an attacking midfielder.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
very good player, actually.
And Paul Beatty, big up, Paul. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's lovely to have you here. So he says, I remember the Spurs 4-3 against Sheffield Wednesday. Well, which was Jurgen Klinsmann's Premier League debut. That now brings us on to Izhan's part of the show. Izhan, do you want to take us through the German ace? I mean, this player, for me, was one of the greatest German players I think I ever saw as a kid. Mm-hmm. He was a part of the 1990 German World Cup winning side of the 90s. For me, he played for. We're going to go through his career anyway, but for me, I think he was brilliant. I love watching Jurgen Klinsmann, even when he played in Italy and then he played in Germany. Highlight for you, Elly, for Jurgen Klinsmann. The highlight for me is the header he scored against Holland in Italian 90. You had the fracas
very good header, brilliant header, bullet.
Yeah, you
bullet
had the fracas between Rijkaard and Vuller when Rijkaard spat at Vuller.
Yeah, you did.
So they're both sent off. I think it was a cross from Lebarski or Bremer. Bremer.
I can't remember who crossed it, but I just remember that bullet header.
And that header. Then for me, that just summed up Jurgen Klinsmann. Izhan, take us away, sir. This is your part of the show.
Lovely.
All right.
Here we go.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
That's a good picture.
Yeah, it is a pretty good photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you know what? I love that German top. I think that's the coolest
international
top ever. I really do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So so he began his career at SC Geislingen. So he was in their academy from age 14 to 16. There are stories of him scoring like 12 goals in a game, in a single game, which is pretty impressive. But it was like under 14s or something. So not the greatest achievement, but still he was quite good for his age. So he was picked up by Stuttgarter Kickers at age 16. They were a second division team in the Bundesliga. And he scored 22 goals in his first senior season before joining rivals VfB Stuttgart, who were in the first division of Germany. So at Stuttgart, he really impressed. So he was signed for 120,000 euros. At the time, that was actually quite a lot of money, especially for a German second division player. He scored 15 goals in his first season, scored 16 in his next two. And then in 87-88, he scored 19 goals. And he was a Bundesliga Golden Boot winner. And in '88, he was called up to the German national team. In 1988, he also dragged Stuttgart to the UEFA Cup final. Not many people expected them to get there, but Klinsmann was really immense. Sort of dragged his team there, and they lost to Dermot's favorite player, Maradona.
To Napoli.
Napoli, yeah. But
what a great player.
He was the German Player of the Year after his incredible season at Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Did he played for the German side in Euro '88, didn't he, Izhan?
Yeah, he did. That's when he got called up to the German national team.
That's the one that a certain little country beat England. I seem to, Ray Houghton put it in the top of the net, I think, somewhere along the line. Team called Ireland. That's it. Yeah, we beat England that tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Netherlands won that tournament, and Germany finished third.
Yeah, they did. Hullet, Van Basten, and Rijkaard. The Dutch were fantastic that tournament. They had
brilliant.
Van Basten for me was probably the European top. He was the best player in Europe at that time.
Yeah,
he scored the most goals that tournament as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, scored some brilliant goals.
Ruud Hullet with his head, but Van Basten's second goal against Russia in that final. Lord, I still don't know how that went in.
It was like Gareth Bale's goal against Stoke. Similar. Yeah. On the half volley, brilliant bullet into the top corner. Fantastic.
Yeah. Carl Simpson.
I'll never forget that goal.
Carl Simpson said, Dermot, I knew you would bring that up. So I thought Thierry Henry is Dermot's favourite player. Right. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, we know
he's
the
a
hand.
cheat. He's just a cheat, and he played for Arsenal, so do you know. The thing that annoys me about that night, we outplayed France. We should have actually won that game.
Yeah,
so the French
you
had
did.
To cheat.
I was watching that game.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, right, Dermot, you're contradicting yourself there, because Maradona, you said the hand of God. You said no. Thierry Henry deliberately handballed it.
Yeah, but it came off Maradona's hair. It came off the freckles of his hair when in the net.
Yeah. In your
should we
dream.
get back to Jurgen Klinsmann before we get myself into any more trouble?
Yes.
So after his excellent performances for Stuttgart, he was signed for Inter for 6.5 million euros.
Which
and
makes sense.
That's a lot of money. Like
it is.
If you adjust it to like today, that's probably worth about like 40 to 60 million in today's money, if not more. So in Inter were European giants at the time as well. So he became a fan favorite because he learned Italian really quick. Because I was actually reading up on him, and he can speak Italian. I believe he can speak French as well, and English too, and German. He speaks a lot of languages, Klinsmann.
Nice.
So he learned Italian very, very quickly, and fans really gravitated towards him. So he scored 13 goals in his first season, and in his second season in 1991, he won the UEFA Cup. And he defeated Roma in the final. I believe it was 2-1 on aggregate. It was a two-legged final. So but his third season with Inter was disastrous. Inter ended up finishing 8th because their manager he left before the start of the season. The season before they finished 3rd, I believe. So I think Inter were also going through some financial troubles at the time, so they were forced to sell Klinsmann to Monaco.
Okay.
Yeah, which would also explain their league position 8th, 3rd to 8th. But overall at Inter, he was really successful in terms of goal scoring ability. I mean, like everywhere this guy went, he was always good, no matter the situation. He was always good. So after Inter, he was sold to Monaco for the 1990 World Cup. So he was in Inter from 1989, I believe. He signed for Inter.
Yeah.
1989 to 1992, he was at Inter Milan, and in 1990, he played a huge part in West Germany winning the World Cup.
He did.
So yeah, in the round of 16 knockouts, I believe Voller got sent off.
Yeah.
Voller and Rijkaard. What happened was Rijkaard spitted at Voller, and the referee, I think they both got booked, and then Voller retaliated. And then again, as they were walking off after they were sent off, Rijkaard again spat at Voller.
Yeah, literally spat in his face.
I
Or
see.
side of his face. But there was an altercation before then, and that's why they were gunning for each other.
Can I just say quickly, Izhan, sorry, this German side in this World Cup for me was the best team in the tournament.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know you probably disagree with me, Elly, because Bobby Robson getting England to the semi-final.
But the Germans were better. The Germans were better.
For me, were the big. And then when they got to the final against that really disappointing, not very good Argentinian side. And I know Izhan's going to bring some stuff up about that. For me, the sending off, the first sending off, I thought that Klinsmann had broken his leg, his back, his arm, and his neck. He jumped so far up in the air, you thought he'd been shot. It was a bad tackle anyway. Argentina deserved to have 2 men sent off, but Argentina, they were the worst team ever in that World Cup. And for me, they should never have got to the final.
No, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Argentina beat Brazil 1-0 somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow beat Brazil 1-0. They defeated Yugoslavia on penalties. They defeated Italy on penalties, but they did lose in the final. So them getting to the final. But with West Germany as well, they beat the Netherlands 2-1. They beat Czechoslovakia 1-0, and they beat England on penalties. After the score was 1-1. They only won by 1 goal in each of the knockouts, but they did breeze through the group stages. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 2 wins and 1 draw in the group stages. 4-1 against Yugoslavia, 5-1 against the United Arab Emirates, and a 1-1 draw against Colombia. But that West Germany team, it was quite disciplined. They did not concede many goals at all.
Well, they were managed by Franz Beckenbauer, who captained the 1974 West Germany World Cup. I think he became only the second manager to win and manage a World Cup side. I think French have done it as well. French manager did it in '98.
It's Deschamps, isn't it?
Yeah,
Deschamps.
Deschamps.
But I think Beckenbauer was only the second manager to do it, and I think it was a German that was the first man to do it, or a Brazilian. I think it might have been a Brazilian actually.
Yeah, he was like the German Bobby Moore, wasn't he, Beckenbauer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen any clips of Beckenbauer, Izhan, but for me, he was probably one of the greatest defenders that ever lived, Franz Beckenbauer.
Yeah. And I think Lothar Matthäus played in that 1990 World Cup as well. I loved him. What a great player.
For me, and Izhan probably know more about this because he knows more about European football. Izhan, do you feel the likes of like when European players come to England, some of them just don't settle and some of them don't play well? With Jurgen, which he did come to Tottenham, did you feel that he was suited for the English game more than, say, the Italian or the French league?
He was good in every league. One thing that really helped him, I read that he had an 11-second 100-meter sprint. So this guy was really, really rapid. Like that's close to like an Olympic sprinter's time. Around 10 to 11 seconds, I believe. Jurgen Klinsmann. So he really did have the pace to leave defenders in the dust.
I've got a backstory to that, Izhan. Right, so he wasn't that fast before, and my brother was telling me today that he read quite a long time ago. He can't remember if it was his cousin or his brother used to run with him to pick up his pace and get him to run faster, and that's why he hit that 11 seconds, because he trained so intensely, because he wasn't very fast at first. Yeah, and he really, really did train on that, you know. So my brother's a mind of information, actually. Yeah. I like what you said about Klinsmann, because that's dedication to get your speed up. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the final, Pedro Monzon of Argentina fouled Klinsmann, which got Pedro sent off. And since then, Klinsmann had the reputation of being a diver. West Germany won the final 1-0 as well.
He was the first ever player to be sent off in the World Cup final.
It's bad, isn't it?
Just got a little quote here from Paul Bately. He says, Germany has only one World Cup, same as England.
Germany have 4 World Cups.
No, they've got 4 World Cups.
4. 1954, when they beat that, probably one of the best European sides ever, the Hungary side of the 50s.
Oh, yeah, with Puskás.
Puskás, his side.
Brilliant.
74, they beat the great Holland side of Cruyff and Naismith in the final.
No one expected them to win that one.
And then they went through a phase of the 82 they lost, 86 they lost to Argentina and Italy respectively, and then they won the 1990 World Cup. And was it the 2016 World Cup they won, Izhan?
Yeah, when they beat who did they beat?
Argentina.
Argentina again. Yeah.
Oh, Germany. Yes, I know what he means now. Germany they've only won World Cup, but as West Germany, they've won 4. Well, West Germany / Germany. Yeah, I get what you mean now.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And this one's for you, Izhan. He says, Carl Simpson says, God, that German back to Matthias and Sammer were amazing.
Oh, no, brilliant. Especially Matthias. Flipping hell.
And then Paul Beatty says, West Germany doesn't exist anymore. No, it hasn't existed since the 90s, since the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yes. Because there was East Germany, an East German team, and a West German team, wasn't there?
Yeah. And then East Germany beat West Germany in the 74 World Cup in their second group stages, because the World Cup back then had your first group, then the second round was in groups, and then you had the semi-final, and then you had the final then afterwards.
Yeah.
Sorry, Izhan, we're going completely off track of your Klinsmann player profile.
No worries.
No, it's all right. It's just adding to it.
Yeah. So at AS Monaco, he was also quite successsul. So he signed for 7 million euros in 1992. A lot of money back in the day. They finished 3rd in the league with Klinsmann as the top scorer, 20 goals. And Marseille, they had a bribery scandal, which led to them, I'm pretty sure they got relegated in that season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so Monaco finished second. They got the Champions League spot where they made the semifinals. They were eliminated by AC Milan, I'm pretty sure, who went on to win the whole tournament. I mean, those 90s AC Milan teams were really something else.
Good.
AC Milan won the European Cup, which was called then, every other season. They had players like Maldini.
Maldini was fabulous.
I think Rijkaard played for them. Ullet. Van Basten played for Milan. And the manager of Milan, I think at that time, was Capello, I think, if I'm rightly saying that.
Fabio Capello.
Yeah, it was Fabio Capello.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah, they had Van Basten,
What a team.
Ruud Gullit, Rijkaard, Maldini, Branko
No one
Barisi
stood a
captain
chance.
as well.
Brilliant.
Oh Yeah. Like their whole starting 11 was considered elite, if not world class. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they did school Monaco, but then again, every team was schooled by AC Milan.
Yeah.
Then, so yeah, the next season, Klinsmann had a severe ligament injury. He was out for like 2 or 3 months, I believe, and Monaco finished ninth. Because a lot of people say because of that injury. So he was after that he was sold to Tottenham. Klinsmann also got into disputes with teammates. He claimed that some of his teammates were being lazy and not working hard enough, not playing for the badge. So yeah, he was sold to Tottenham in 1994 because of, I don't know, I guess things got toxic in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I had a little bit of my history because I remember I was doing it's 94. I'd left school. I was working for my dad in the buildings. My dad had his own construction business. So I was working on the buildings with him. I remember one June day reading in the back page, Jurgen Klinsmann signs for Spurs. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I mean, Alan Sugar didn't do many things right at Tottenham, apart from saving us, which is one. The other, he bought Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah.
I mean, the man. If you could pick any striker at that time around that era, Jurgen Klinsmann for me was the biggest strikers in Europe. And to
Yeah.
sign him was like our Aussie idealist and Ricky Villa moment, where that was your time, if you know Elly. It's like us signing, I don't know, Manpape from PSG would be like that for Izhan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, signing Jurgen Klinsmann, and I saw him. My dad took me to his. He made his debut in Dublin, but they played Watford in a pre-season game, and I went to see him play at Watford. And I remember there was a girl in front of me with her dad, and I was just trying to chud up the scale in front of me, to be completely honest.
Naughty boy.
But when I was only about, how old was I? 94.
Work it out. When was you born?
77.
17?
17.
Yeah.
So, but to see Jurgen Klinsmann come out in the Tottenham gear was wow. This is unreal. I can't believe this is happening. So, you know, for him, he was an idol. He was my favourite player at Spurs. And the season he gave us there was a season I shall never forget. I just wish he stayed another season with us, because I think if he stayed with us the next season, and again, that's just Sugar shafted him somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
And that's why he left to go to, players. That's why he went to Bayern Munich. But for me, Jurgen Klinsmann, is a club legend. For that one season and saving us then when he came back, he's a club legend. And I think he's probably one of the best strikers we've ever had at the club.
Yeah. And you know what? I was 32 when he signed, right? And I remember watching him with Nicky Barmby and Teddy Sheringham. And I was thinking that this player is way above anybody in that team. Even Teddy Sheringham, right? Because you think it's a golfing class. I know Teddy Sheringham's a class player, but Klinsmann is that extra sauce, you know? It's like watching a gazelle when he runs as well. He had that really choppy running style. And I was thinking, what a player, you know. And I was so excited. I thought we were going to win the league that year. It didn't pan out that way.
Yeah, hang on. Calm down, Elly. We had Ozzy in charge. To be fair.
I know.
But
nobody knew that he was going to play that style until the first game. And then the second game and the third, and then you thought, oh, there's a pattern here.
It was the game we played at Watford that year. And 6-3, was it? We beat Watford.
Yeah, 6-3. In the League Cup, yeah.
It was like Dave scored. All right, come on, let's go and get another. It was like playing FIFA. Next goal
Yeah.
win. That was
It's like
Aussie's management. I mean, it was fun. I have
it's
to
like
admit.
outscore the opposition, isn't it?
Yeah, we can look back at it now as older fans and think, what a great era, what a great time.
I
But
know.
then you were just pulling your hair out. I mean, it was mentioned tonight. I was on the cheese room tonight for a while and had a really lovely time there. They were talking about when we lost to Notts County, and it's just like pulling your hair out.
I know.
Oh no, but
I know.
Jurgen. But just got this big one here. Just very quickly, my last game for Port Vale, my last game at White Hart Lane before I moved to Australia was 11 against QPR. But
My
Jurgen
husband's
scored.
team.
Ticket price was more than my first season ticket cost. Progress. God.
Oh no. I remember going in for 75p. Actually, the very first game, I remember my dad paying 50p for my ticket.
I think my first ticket at White Hart Lane was a £5 or something. I think it was a £5 or £6.
And there's 15 years between us, so that's inflation for you.
I used to sit in the East Stand. I used to love the East Stand. Sorry, Izhan, we're really out going down memory lane.
No worries.
Me and Elly.
The shelf side. I was the shelf side girl as well. So we might have crossed paths, Dermot.
Probably did, Elly.
I might have been the girl you were trying to chat up.
You're a bit older than me, Elly.
I know. I'm only joking.
Back then, yeah, I probably would have done. Right. Carl Simpson said success in the 90s was, yes, we finished above Everton in 15th. Yeah, that is actually very true. That is actually very true. Aussie's first season in charge, we had to beat Peterborough away to stop us getting relegated because we lost our last home game against QPR. So if we lost against Peterborough, lost against QPR, we would have got relegated. That's that 93-94 season.
Yeah.
And then Paul Badley put 86-87 season tickets were 36 quid.
36 quid.
Is that for a season ticket?
Not 36 quid tickets. He means one ticket, doesn't he?
That's a bit.
I can't remember it being 36 quid. Mind you, I used to always stand.
Yeah. I tell you, I love that Tottenham kit. That's my favourite home kit ever. That the one Klinsmann.
The Holston kit is brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right, go on, Izhan, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, so
keep on going, Izhan.
No worries. So he was signed for 2 million pounds. Sorry. He scored the game winner on his debut and dived to the ground as a celebration because people called him a diver. After that, he won over a lot of fans for that celebration and his performances. Some media outlets were really critical of him, and him celebrating was sort of sort of laughing in the face of people who made fun of him. But yeah, he scored 29 goals and was the club's top goal scorer. And in his second season, he scored 21 goals, or in the Premiership, and he was named the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year because he was such a quality player. But he later joined Bayern in 1995 because of boardroom, like Alan Sugar and whatnot, sort of shafted him, and Spurs also did need the money as well.
So basically, he left because Alan Sugar was being a twit.
Yeah.
To be bluntly honest, he was being a twit. I mean, we had the best striker really since Jimmy Greaves. We got him for 2 million quid. What's he going to do? Pisses him off, and then he walks off the bottom. What a dickhead.
Yeah. Also, we did need the money at the time, is what I heard. He kind of forced him out of the club because he needed the money.
Yeah, to be fair to him, I know I was a bit harsh on him, but to be fair, we were still coming back from nearly going out of business. So what, we're 5 years 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, after that. So, but to give him his due, he put his money in his pocket and went out and bought one of the best strikers in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to give Sugar some credit along the line. For me, we're getting a little bit of feedback. Who's that from?
It was probably me because I put my charger in, but I've taken it out because I noticed it. Yeah. But I think he should have really appointed Steve Perriman as the manager rather than Ozzy, because Steve Perriman had a more defensive way of playing. He would have had a more defense, and he would have been more organised. Whereas Ozzy, he was a flair player, so he wanted us to play flair football. Yeah, I just thought made the wrong choice in manager, really.
Carl Simpson's coming out with them tonight. He says, love his boardroom. Sugar was a tool who wouldn't back down, such a hothead. That's putting it politely.
Yeah.
And Paul Blakely said that was the price of a child's season ticket, 36 quid back then.
36 quid, right.
And an adult cost 70 quid.
Right.
Jesus.
It's great that he knows the cost of it as well, doesn't he? He remembers.
Yeah.
Big up, Paul. Right. He goes to Bayern then, Izhan, and what happens to him next?
So he was signed by Bayern for 1.4 million euros in '95. He was a top goal scorer for Bayern in his first 2 seasons. He won the UEFA Cup in his first season after previously losing it at Stuttgart. And then he won the league title in his second season.
Yeah.
He scored 15 goals in 12 matches in the UEFA Cup, which is quite mind-boggling. It was a record until 2011, where Radamel Falcao broke it, playing for Porto.
Right.
But for 16 years, it was a record. 15 goals in 12 matches in the UEFA Cup. So at Bayern, he was quite brilliant. And I believe he was, in '95, he was 31 years old.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So yeah, he was still going strong, even in his later years. For Bayern.
I think he won the European Championships in '96, didn't he, for Germany?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're coming. That's coming up, though.
Izhan, can I ask you a quick question? Really, was it for him coming to the end of his career? Do you think moving back to Germany was sort of what he wanted to do to finish off his career in his own land when he left Tottenham?
I'm not sure. He did take a pay cut joining Bayern. His salaries were larger at Spurs. I think it was Sugar kind of pushing him out. Like from what I read, I think especially because we sold him for a loss. Bayern weren't too keen on signing a 31-year-old striker, but when he was available for that price, they did it. So I do think he wanted to stay at Spurs. He became a fan favorite. He learned English very quickly as well here. So I do think Alan Sugar did kind of push him out due to a variety of reasons. The old story is Sugar was just being a prick, but I do think it was for financial reasons. We needed some money and we need to get him off the books as well. That Sugar sort of forced him out of the club after 1 season only.
Bob Spur is watching us while he's on the loo. All I can say, Bob, is just
oh my God.
I hope you wash your hands afterwards. Big up, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl Simpson here. Klinsmann said it was never his desire to leave Spurs. He wanted to stay long term.
Yeah,
that is true. Because he only signed for us, like it was only 1 season. Usually players don't leave after only 1 season, so he did want to stay long term. I do think it was Alan Sugar being a prick, and obviously Spurs needing the money that pushed him out the door.
But we sold him for a loss, though, Izhan. How
Yeah.
we bought him for 2, sold him for 1.4 million.
Yeah, but we need to get his wages
That's
off the
bad
book.
business.
We need to get his wages off the book as well.
Do you know, for a man who's supposed to be a big businessman, he didn't have to make some cock-ups.
Yeah.
Seriously. And we all give Levy
You've got
back.
a world-class striker and you sell him for a loss.
Can you imagine
Ridiculous.
if Levy did that? You know, sold Harry Kane for about 60 million. Do you know?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, Levy is better than Alan Sugar. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
But Paul here. Spurs were cash starved while Sugar was rolling in Amstrad boxes.
See, yeah. Okay, I'm going to say it, wanker. For me, there's 2 sides of Alan Sugar at Spurs. You got the one side where he saved the club and he did put his hand in his pocket to buy players. You got the other side of Alan Sugar where he was a total twit, basically. You know, absolutely had no clue. I mean, some of the managers, we will go into this next week. I mean, Christian Gross rarely comes to mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting there to the press. Look, I've bought myself my very first travel card. Do you know, you wonder what... I'd love to put a bubble what Alan Sugar was thinking when he said that.
Yeah.
You know, he must have been... The man didn't have a clue. Even his computers weren't very good, to be fair. But if you are watching Lord Sugar by any stretch of imagination, you've stumbled onto our channel. We think you're great, you're lovely, and thank you for everything that's
So, basically, in Germany, he went off for Bayern. You know, he was their top goal scorer. He was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he was in the 1996 Euros called up to Germany. He scored 3 goals in the Euros, including a brace against Russia. He became the first player to score in 3 different European championships. Germany knocked out England on penalties yet again to reach the finals.
I know.
It's funny, and
that's the one Gareth Southgate missed, isn't it?
Yeah, Gareth Southgate missed the penalty.
Yeah.
Is that the one where Gazza nearly scored? I think he missed by about that much of his boot.
Yeah, by about an inch, less than an inch, actually. Yeah.
But Germany knocked out England again on penalties to reach the finals. They defeated the Czech Republic in the final at Wembley, 2-1. You can see in the photo it's the Queen. That's Queen Elizabeth. She handed the trophy
in green. She's in Irish green, Dermot.
She is.
She's trying to tell you something.
Don't get me onto that conversation, Elly, because I'll get our channel cancelled very quickly.
I know.
And also I wanted to add this in 1998, in the 1998 World Cup, Klinsmann became the first player to score 3 or more goals in 3 consecutive World Cup tournaments. Only 2 players since have matched that record. Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, and Miroslav Klose, who's the Germany all-time scorer and all-time World Cup scorer.
Yeah, he was a decent player.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, did he beat...
Closer.
Closer, he was a brilliant player.
Yeah, he was a closer, wasn't he?
William Kelly can say it. I can't, because I just go into a rant. All you can say is, Elly gives back our 6 counties. Yeah. Big up, William, my Irish brother. You know what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about as well.
We will have a stream about that one day, Elly. We really will. We'll put it as a late night stream where anything goes, but we will have that conversation.
Yes.
More success for Germany. Afterwards, he signed for Sampdoria on a free. But in that same season, he joined Spurs in the winter window for an undisclosed fee. It may have been a free transfer, but I couldn't find the fee that we paid if we did pay a fee. He scored 9 goals in the 97-98 season to save Spurs from relegation. He was also the club's top goal scorer alongside David Ginola, who also scored 9. I believe he scored 4 goals in one game to save us, where we won 6-2.
Yeah, he did that against. We're away at Wimbledon at Selhurst Park. That
Yeah, at Wimbledon in a 6-2 win. Yeah. So
Look at those 3 players, brilliant.
Yeah,
Ferdinand, Klinsmann, and Ginola.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what they're saying there, don't you? Do you know they're saying, I use Vardan Sassoon? Klinsmann saying, I really don't care. Liz Werner saying, God, I wish I had hair like your Ginola. David.
So yeah, he was 34.
That kit was nice as well, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
the Hewlett-Packard kit.
It was made by
I liked
Bondy.
it. I know, but I like the Hewlett-Packard thing.
Yeah.
With the logo. It was nice.
Ginola's asking Jurgen, are you going to stay with us for another season? Les is saying, are you? And he's saying, feck off, I'm off out of here. Done my job. Where's Sugar? I want my 2 million euros.
But yeah, so he helped us. He saved us from relegation, being our top goal scorer. And then that was his last season in professional football, where he retired in 1998. So
I think he had a soft spot for Spurs, didn't he? Coming back again, because he had unfinished business.
Well, if he didn't come back, we would have gone relegated without a doubt.
Well, it says a lot about our players then, didn't it? It took an old German retiree player to come back and save us.
Yeah, but we had other players who were good in the side as well.
Can I just say, I had a giggle going through that. That was so much fun. Brought back so many memories for me.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant, is that?
That lily white kit. Do you know who looks extra nice in it? I must admit, as a woman.
Right, I'm taking this off.
Wow, what a player!
I'm taking this off before Elly gets really excited. Right.
But I mean, he's the ultimate man, isn't he? Ginola. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Guys, I'll calm down now.
Yeah. Should we talk about I want my 6 characters back? No, okay, we leave that. Right. You look at the
you don't want to get cancelled.
No, believe me, if you start me on that, I will go on a rant that end all rants.
No.
You look at Jurgen Klinsmann, you look at the strikers today, Izhan, you look at Harry Kane, you look at Thierry Henry, as much as I hate saying that name. You look at Jermaine Defoe. Do you think Jurgen Klinsmann, if you could pick one of today's striker, who do you think gets close to Jurgen Klinsmann?
Who I think comes close to Jurgen Klinsmann? So it's pretty hard, because someone who's had so much success in so many leagues and internationally, it's pretty hard to say who would come close. In terms of style of play, I was thinking like Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan. Both are super fast strikers, super quick and very skilled. But yeah, it's tough, because he was actually quite a unique player. Not many players have so much success everywhere they go in France, Italy, Germany, and England. Very few players can say that. And on the international stage, winning the Euros and the World Cup. There's not many players that can say they've been that successful in all facets of their career. All the way until the age of 34, I guess, he was successful. So it's pretty difficult to say.
Yeah.
We've got William Kelly saying we should have won the FA Cup that time. Losing to Everton in the quarter-final killed me that year. I was so devastated. Are you talking about the first time, William, in 94? We lost to Everton in the semi.
4-1 to Everton.
Semi-final.
Semi-final.
And we lost. I think for me, we lost to Newcastle in a semi as well.
Oh, don't, Elly, please don't. You bring back bad memories, please don't. You've got to think of happy times.
Yeah.
Not heartbreak. I remember the game against Liverpool, the quarterfinals away against when we beat Liverpool at Anfield, when Klinsmann scored in the very last seconds of the game. You could see the raw emotion of what it meant to him to score the winner against Liverpool, at the Kop end of Anfield, and the Kop rising to salute him as well. People don't remember that. The Kop did that at the end of the game. The Liverpool fans did rise up and clap him off. He was so emotional.
Because they appreciate good football in Liverpool.
Do you think
that's why?
For what you've done in your research of Jurgen Klinsmann, do you think he probably is the Premier League's most favourite player by other teams?
He was hated at first, but I'm pretty sure he broke jersey selling records as well. I believe he sold 200,000 jerseys all over England. I think people liked him because he could speak English very fluently. He learned English quite quickly as well. So fans really did warm up to him for that reason as well. So he was one of the most loved players, especially after that diving celebration. After that, people really started to like him.
Yeah. Carl Simpson says, ironically, probably the last time we won at Anfield. Yeah, it actually probably was. Come back,
but not many teams
pay you
win
whatever
now.
you want. You can team up. No.
Yeah, we'll win this season as well.
We definitely will, Izhan. William Kelly says, when we beat Liverpool, I was convinced we had it in the bag. I cried when we went out. It hurt so much. It did. I remember watching that in my local club, and we went. My dad had to go to a function up in Cricklewood, which is like the Irish part of London, and I remember just being devastated. I didn't want to go. So, so devastated. He put some.
It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you lose a semi-final.
Yeah.
If you lose in the final, it is bad, but you've got to the final. But when you lose in the semi-final, it's worse. That's how I feel anyway.
It is.
Because you're nearly there.
Yeah, I know. William Kelly says he even got a Cockless accent, and you went, sorry.
It's so funny, William. Oh my God.
We're going to move on from Klinsmann. Elly told me this today or a few days ago. There was a survey done on Twitter about abusing players on Twitter. And it came out that Harry Kane was one of the top on that list, one of the top players to get abused by fans. I'll start with you, Izhan. How do you feel? For me personally, no player should get abused. Nobody should get abused. Are you black, white, pink, orange, Chinese, someone that lives in, I don't know, the North Pole? You shouldn't be abused. There should be no thing for racism in any way of life, sport, personal life, whatever. Nothing. Are you surprised that Harry Kane was one of the top people to come up from that poll to be abused by football fans?
I wasn't surprised, to be honest. Being the England captain, you're sure to get a lot of abuse, to be honest. I believe Ronaldo was number one. That also wasn't a surprise. He's possibly the most popular footballer as well. But the results weren't too surprising. There was a lot of United players on the list after the United performance this season. But obviously, like as bad as it is, it's pretty hard to deal with because you're always going to get idiots who post random crap online. So obviously no one should be abused, but it is bound to happen, unfortunately.
Elly, you're the one that brought this up to me earlier.
Yeah.
How shocked are you by that?
I'm not shocked that Harry Kane gets it because all over social media they take the mickey out of his speech impediment. They take the mickey because he's England captain. They take the mickey out of him because he didn't win the Golden Boot. That he didn't get his big money move, and it's just petty, really. These people that do this, they're just sick individuals, and just is jealousy as well. Because like he's England captain for a reason. Because he's been England's top goal scorer, and he's been fabulous for us. But I don't know. It's very, very disappointing to hear that as well. At the same time, I'm not surprised, but I'm very disappointed because he's such a lovely gentleman. You never hear anything bad that he's done.
No.
You know, never see anything in the press that he's done something awful. He's done something. He's been out in a nightclub and stumbled out of a nightclub. You never hear that about Harry Kane. He's the ultimate professional.
Yeah.
And it's just a big shame that that's come out.
It is. And to be fair, I never knew he had a speech impairment. I mean, I have one myself.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I have one. I used to have one myself. I went to speech therapy when I was small. I still have problem now pronouncing words now. But I've never noticed it for Harry when he's speaking. I really genuinely haven't. And when you told me about that and I looked into it, I was shocked that he was one of the top ones. Even Carl Simpson says Kane is hated by everyone, unfortunately. I really find that hard to believe. Just for the way he speaks, it's disgusting. Try looking into the fact that he has a speech impairment. Exactly, Carl. And then Wilton McDonald says, "I'm with you on that one, Dermot, 100%." There should be no room for bullying, racial abuse, or any abuse on anywhere. And I think, from my own point of view, Twitter can be very guilty of that as well.
Yeah,
and I just think a lot of these
because it's heightened.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these keyboard warriors as well can hide about, and it's down to the social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. There should be more people looking into stop you making up fake accounts to attack people. YouTube as well. All these social medias have to do more because they're not doing enough. You look at the England players when they lost to the European Championship, the players that missed the penalties. Now, but being an Irishman, I don't get me wrong, I was happy when England lost, just as an Irish football fan, but no malice in it. It's a bit of banter. That's it. The Lionesses won on Saturday. You know, I even said, "Oh Jesus, we're never going to hear the end of this now." But it's all a bit of banter. It's all a bit of fun. Do you know? And I've said to you, me and Elly and Izhan, we've had many of bit of banter about things in the past. But there's no harm meant in it. I mean, I was abused at school for being Irish. Do you know, wearing an island top in Italian 90, proud of my country, proud of my team. And I used to get bullied and abused for being Irish. My parents did a lot in the 70s and 80s. It shouldn't be allowed, and social media companies should do a lot more. Izhan, what can the social media companies do to stop this? Because these footballers are human at the end of the day. They have families, they have children, they have parents, they have aunts and uncles. How do you stop it, Izhan? What should the social media companies do?
Like, to be fair to the companies, it is pretty difficult to do it robotically. You know, to just catch abuse robotically. But I think you know, there can be in a lot of forums, like on Reddit, there is human moderators which go around checking to see if any rules are broken and whatnot. So I think that something like that could be used. But yeah, also like people that get banned, their IP address can be blocked. So they can't make another account. I know you can hide your IP address and whatnot. There's always ways to get around it, but it does help. There's a lot of things that you can do, but I will admit it is quite difficult for these companies to just block any and all abuse, you know, automatically or through robots or AI. It is difficult.
Yeah. Elly, firstly, I will actually talk about the little elephant that's in the room, in the corner of the room. Congratulations on your team winning the Women's European Championships. I think it's great for women's football in general. I actually watched some of the tournament and I really enjoyed what I was watching. Big up to the
Oh my
Northern
God, it
Ireland
was
girls.
so good.
I know they got trounced in the group stages, but big up to them.
Yeah.
Last thing on this subject before we move on to our last subject about the supporters trust poll that came out. I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on it.
Yeah.
What do you say to these people? What would you say to these people that bully and abuse people? We all know it ourselves. We've seen it in our lives. We've seen it on Twitter. We've seen it on YouTube. Seen it on Facebook. What would you say to these people that do it? And what do you think should happen to them if they get caught doing it? What should the law be brought down on them?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I'd say just think for 1 second, if it was yourself or someone in your family getting that abuse, how would you feel? You know, somebody that you loved was getting that same abuse to these footballers who are just doing their job. They're going on the pitch and working hard, that they train, you know, and they're getting all this stupid abuse, and it's just ridiculous. Why are they doing it? To make themselves feel bigger? No, you're not a bigger person if you're doing something like that. You've got to get a life, really. And I don't know, it's just sad, very sad that people have to do that to make themselves, you know, bigger than what they think they are. I just don't get it. I just
I'll
don't
take
get
that.
it. And what I would do is the police have to get more involved in like investigating, because there's not a lot of money put into that. They just sort of sweep it under the carpet a lot of the time, because maybe they feel footballers, they don't deserve protection, but they do. They're human beings, like you said.
Mm.
You see,
Um,
so
Yeah, can I just quickly, William, if you want me to send you the link to your WhatsApp, just let me know, and I'll send you the link to your WhatsApp if you want to pop on, for to talk about
yeah.
the next segment. If you want to pop on, William. Sorry, Ellie, I cut you off there.
My battery's a
Guys,
bit low, Dermot, so I'm going to put.
you what, Ellie? You're going to put your phone on charge? Yeah, that's fine. And then we've got Carl Simpson saying the comments after the Lionesses won from all those salty men because they won it. What a fucking disgrace. Yeah, I agree with you. It's all football at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. It should be all treated the same. Ellie played the women's game. Ellie was a
That's
professional
right.
footballer. Ellie is an
Yeah.
ex-professional footballer. I don't care if Ellie is a man or a woman. She is an ex-professional sports person, and she should
Yeah.
she should be there to she should be given the same credit, say as Gary Lineker or old players, and Izhan as well.
Yeah.
Izhan, as a younger generation, for you being brought up in this world of social media and everything, do you think that do you think it's just gone too much one way? I mean, me and Ellie were never brought up with social media. We were brought
No.
up with playing outside, or if you had to go and talk to somebody, you had to run down to their house, or the nearest thing. I mean, my dad at work ordering stuff, going to the local phone box to order concrete for the job. Do you feel it's technology has gone in a different way, too far, too big now that it can't be controlled?
I don't know. I think that technology is pretty good, to be honest. I think that it's made our lives so much better, so much easier. I mean, we wouldn't be here on stream without technology. I probably would have never known you
Yeah.
guys if we didn't have social media. So nothing can be 100% good. There's always downsides to it, but overall, I think that I enjoy social media. I
Sorry.
think it's done more good than bad. You have to take the negatives with anything.
Yeah,
So yeah. And another thing, it's you're not forced to use it. You always have the choice. You want to use it, go ahead. If you don't, you don't. It doesn't matter either way.
yeah. That's so true, Izan. That's so true. So, I just right, Izan, if you can take your Klinsmann thing off, the bottom there so I can bring this in.
Done.
Right. Okay. Right. We're going to start off. This is actually the Tottenham Hotspur Trust Supporters Trust fan survey. It was done. Very quickly, Izhan, what do you think about the fans trust?
The supporters trust.
Yeah. What's your make of them?
I think they're overhated. I think they're the people on the trust. They're good people. They care about the club. They're fans just like us. Some people they say they get benefits, this and that. I disagree with that. They don't get paid for being on the trust, for attending meetings, for organizing things. They're regular fans just like us who do their work for free. A lot of things that they can or can't do are limited as well. So overall, I am very supportive of the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. I think they do good work, and I don't think they should be blamed for things like not being the way that you want them to be, or things, some negative aspects of the club. I think they do good work overall.
Yeah. Well, this was a survey done. 6,001 fans completed the 2022 fan survey. 35% were members of the Tottenham Hotspur Sports Trust. 73% living in the UK. 35% GA season ticket holders. 30% one membership members, and 3% premium or 1882 club members. 7% were women. 23% were aged between 26 and 35. 7% considered themselves to have a disability. 3% describe themselves as gay, lesbian, or bisexual, and 9% have non-white or mixed ethnic background. So Izhan, there was a lot of different things there, wasn't there? There's a lot of differences from society, isn't there, really, in that? Now, this first one here, let me get it right. The first thing here says 97% of the season ticket holders renewed their season tickets for 22-23. 42% of the season ticket holders were dissatisfied or very dissatisfied with the pricing.
Yep. Most expensive season tickets. Pretty understandable.
Yeah, very understandable. Now, this one for me was a big talking point. Now, last season through the season we were in the fight for fourth place, and then suddenly Spurs says, right, now you've got to pay for your season tickets. 62%. Let me just read that there. Sorry, 62% were dissatisfied to having to pay their season tickets by 29th of April. Do you agree with that? Do you think they could have waited until the end of the season, or were they trying to cash in early? Because in case we didn't get to the Champions League.
I also think it's because when somebody chooses not to renew it, they have to leave it open for a bit and give the person coming in, the new season ticket holder, some time to pay. So I think there's that aspect. But I do think April 29th is a bit too early. I think we could have probably given at least a couple more weeks, if not a month more, until the end of the season, I guess. But it is a reasonable concern, and hopefully the two parties can come to a compromise. Most people aren't season ticket holders, so it's not affecting a lot of people at the club. But it is something to consider for sure, giving them more time to pay for the season ticket.
Yeah, 80%, 87% said of the survey said they would be renewing their season tickets next season. 8%, 84% of the survey satisfied with the position seat in the stadium. I have to say, where I sat when I went to see the Wolves game, I had the best seats in the house.
Yeah, I had quite good seats as well when I went to the Crystal
people
Palace
seem
game.
to be quite happy with the seating. 49% want Hotspur membership offers good value for money. I think it does personally.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Then we've got 83% over 65s agree concession should be linked to person, not seat. I actually agree with that. I think once you reach a certain age, I think the club should do more, give you something back for putting money into the club for how many years you've been supporting Tottenham. I think we've lost Elly. I don't know if Elly's coming back or not, but Elly's done the disappearing act on us. She probably knew what we were doing. You said, right, I'm running.
I think she said she had to charge her phone.
Yeah. I'm sure, but we're joined by the man from down under. This is my Irish brother from. How are you, William?
Good, Dermot. How are you?
I am grand, sir. Great for seeing you again. Long time no see.
I know, it's been so long, hasn't it?
It has.
How are you doing, Izhan?
Doing well.
We're
Good
just talking about the Supporters Trust and the thing. Very quickly, William, on the last subject we're talking about on the Twitter abuse to Harry Kane. Were you surprised by that?
No, not at all. No. The internet has created a lot of idiots. Let's be honest, you know. Yeah. You only have to go on YouTube and you see it constantly, and Twitter and like
you
Twitter
go on
is
YouTube and join the tech channel. You can see a lot of idiots.
Yeah, the hell, I'm one of them, haven't I? Sorry, you can hear it in my voice. I've been sick for a while.
Especially all them deluded Arsenal fans on AFTV. I mean, they're the worst.
Definitely. No, it's I don't go on Twitter or those accounts, to be quite honest with you, because as I put in the thing, I'd have to go and rotate on a lot of those people in there. They're just gobshites, let's be honest. And more than likely, like I often watch Lee Gunner, and he says it perfect. They're young kids in their bedrooms, locked away, don't see the light of day, don't know what a conversation is, and they write shit about different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is a big problem. I think that's parenting, to be quite honest with you. I think it's got a lot to do with it. And like, you got to know what your kids are doing on the internet. You really do.
Yeah. So there's some little scallywags out there.
Yeah, but if you leave a kid in a bedroom on the internet, what do you think he's going to do?
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be influenced by what he's hearing and seeing. So you've got to be very careful. And I think the problem is a lot of parents, you know, they think they're parents, but they're not really. Like, let's be honest. They'd rather just have the space away from their kids. I mean, if you're going to have a kid, spend the time with them.
Exactly.
That's what I do with my kid.
Yeah.
Every God-given moment I get with him, I spend it with him.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
William. Yeah, so true. Welcome back, Elly. We're just going through this fan survey that was done by the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. I'll start with you, William. What do you think of the Supporters Trust? I asked Izhan, how's your feeling on the Supporters Trust? Do you think they do a good job, or do you think there's room for improvement with them?
Oh, I think they do what they have to do, Dermot, you know. I don't really have much of a knowledge on what they do particularly, so I'm not really wanting to comment on them. I know they get a lot of flack sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
But you know, like, at the end of the day, do they get paid for that?
No, they don't.
No, they don't. So then, you know, how can you really judge them?
Yeah,
you know, they're not getting a wage, so they're doing this out of the goodness of their own hearts. So why give them such flack then?
Yeah, that's so true. Elly, what do you think of the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust?
They've done a few good things, like the mural they did of Ledley King. I particularly like that. That was fantastic. And they've got their heart in the right place. Sometimes the red tape gets in the way, and then you've all got every fan's got different opinions as well about them. So you don't know what's true until you actually infiltrate and possibly join them and see what they're all about, or read more about them. I haven't really actually, hand on heart, I've never read about them. I'm more concerned with the team, but they're fans for the fans, they say. So
Yeah.
as long as they've got their heart in the right place with the club, and they pull the strings in terms of getting our voice heard. But sometimes I wonder whether they do contact and have so much involvement with the average fan. It seems like it's a little bit cliquey there. That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Elly. I mean, I was very critical of them last year, especially during the European Super League, and last year when I got very much on the Levy out thing. For me this year, I'm more neutral on the Levy out thing. I'm more on the fence. He's done what I've asked him to do this summer, which is the back Conte, which you have done. So I just want to go through the rest of this and get you guys what you think of it very quickly. Those who attended home matches in 21-22 expressed satisfaction with 70% of the policing, 74% of security, and 70% of stewarding at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 67% of UK-based fans said they usually eat and drink inside the stadium, and 67% of the UK-based fans arrive at the stadium between 30 and 90 minutes before kickoff. And then there's two attended home matches, 21-22, were satisfied with 67% availability of food and beverage at the stadium, which some of them went out to this, 73 quality, 71% choice. Now, personally for myself, it's like Ben Kaufman, he's been on with it. His mum can't get food at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I forget what it's called.
Kosher.
Guys, I'll start with you, Elly, then I go to William, then you, Izhan.
Yeah.
Do you feel that I feel if you go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you should get the food that you eat, that your religion says that you can eat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you think Spurs and the Supporters Trust have to work more with Spurs so that every fan of any culture or any ethnic or any religious background, when they come to the stadium, they can get the food that they want to eat, not what they want you to buy? Do you know? And do you think the club have to do more on this? Let's start with you, Elly.
Yeah, I think they can do more, especially because we're predominantly a Jewish-owned club. You'd think they'd have kosher food, because kosher food is just where you prepare it as well. You've got to prepare it in a different section, especially if it's cold meats and things like that. So, yeah, they should do a little bit more. How they're going to get round that is by employing the right people who know about kosher food as well. You can't employ the kids. They haven't got a clue about fish and chips, yet alone kosher food. And that's coming from experience, buying food in the stadium a couple of times, which I don't do anymore. I prefer the food outside anyway, because there's so many more choices outside the ground. You can get kosher food outside the ground as well, which, they're losing out big time. If they want to please all the fans, they don't just have to do the kosher food, they've got to do other foods as well, because we've got a diverse fan base as well with lots and lots of nationalities.
Yeah, we do. William, do you agree with Elly on that?
I just think it's the reason they don't have it is because of cost. And it's exactly what Elly said there, is you'd have to get the right people in. That's going to cost more money.
Right equipment.
It's a business at the end of the day. You can't fault them. You can have your qualms with them, but at the end of the day, they're there to make money. The club needs money to buy players, to pay wages, blah, blah, blah. That's why they don't have kosher. It's as simple as that. It's just too cost effective. You're only basically supplying for a niche market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
And there lies the problem. So you're going to outlay all that money for a niche market, and it's not being disrespectful to anybody. It's just basically that niche market, they're not going to make enough money off that. So if they're not making money, and as we know with Daniel Levy, if he's not making money, it's not going to happen.
No.
So that's the only reason why. And like what Elly said, which is brilliant, what Elly said, you just have to go outside the ground. You can get your food beforehand. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's being disrespectful from the club's point of view. I think it's just cost effective.
Yeah. Izhan, shouldn't all fans, religious and ethnic backgrounds or anything, shouldn't everyone be respected? But as William says, it's down to cost. It's down to money at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with William. I can't eat it at the ground either. I can only order like the vegan options and whatnot there. So, like they do have vegan options, it's fine. They can't cater to everyone. Like William said, if it's a niche market, it's just not worth it for them. You can eat beforehand. I'm sure like you can eat vegan food and whatnot. You don't have to eat kosher meat or whatnot. But yeah, overall, I would agree with William. It's not worth it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last bit of this now is, they can burn bikes for all I care. I think bikes are immense on the road anyway, so I've got no disrespect for cyclists. Sorry, all you cyclists who love your bikes. I just think I've got no love for you. You're a menace.
Go on, say it, Dermot. You know you want to. Rats on wheels.
All I want to do is get Jeremy Clarkson on this show about cyclists and just leave him to it.
Yeah. I
don't mind cyclists. I actually don't have any qualms with cyclists, to be quite honest with you. I always give them the space on the road. I always move out of the way if I need to. I do disagree when big bunches block up certain parts of the road. I think that's foolish. I think they need to show a little bit of respect there. But in terms of on the road, they've just as much right as anyone else, Matt.
Cyclists are a menace to society.
How are they though, Dermot? Like if you go to country like Holland for particular, okay? Now I lived in Holland. Holland.
Yeah.
And they have their own cycling lanes, they have their own traffic lights.
Yeah.
It's just so well run. And you look at it, you just actually need to stand back and look at it and go, well, that's intelligent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the problem with the rest of Europe is we're so far behind.
Well, they started doing it in where I live in Enfield. They've made cycling lanes. They've done it, but they've done it in a strange sort of way. They've sort of curbed it off, and then the curb is quite high. So if a car hits the curb, it's going to damage its. Because some people don't know how to drive straight, and they could run them over really because it's high, but it's not high enough to avoid the accident. Whereas in Holland, it's more drilled, they've got it organised better.
Oh, it's so well organised.
Fabulous, isn't it?
It is.
To be fair, guys, in Holland, they're all stoned all the time, so they're probably that relaxed anyway.
That's hysteria.
Actually, Dermot, most of the Dutch aren't stoned. It's the travellers.
Well, there you go. We've got Stuart727 here. It says, "Hi guys, as someone who is Jewish, right? Okay, I'm someone who's Jewish. It's a little hypocritical going to a game on a Saturday and crying about kosher food."
Yeah, because
harsh, I would say. I know some people that I know, it's a very big thing for them, and I understand what they're saying. But one thing I love, everyone's entitled to opinion, and everyone's opinion will be respected. And things. So big up, Stuart. I know what you're trying to say, and I think big up to you though for bringing the comment in, and thank you for subscribing and watching us, and welcome to the channel. And I hope you enjoy the shows we've done before and our future shows. But big up, Stuart, and I think it's a very valid point what he's saying there. Big up, guys. Right, we'll go back to this cycling thing before I get myself into any more trouble. 2% of UK-based respondents cyclists to at least some home matches. Not very many cyclists. 44% dissatisfied with cycle and parking provisions among those who cycle. Well, piss off on that. Really don't care. You should walk to the game or do. I've got no time for cyclists. Sorry. Right.
Excuse me.
You're grand, William. Right. This is now 77% who attend home matches last season were satisfied or very satisfied with the atmosphere.
I was satisfied.
Elly, I went to the Wolves game. It was not very good. You've been to most of the matches, Elly. Do you agree with that? 77%? If that's fair enough. I mean, these people were satisfied or very satisfied with the atmosphere. You've been to most of the home games. Is the atmosphere always great there?
Oh, she dropped out.
Has she?
Yeah. Oh, I can tell you my experience.
Yeah,
but I've only been to one game.
Yeah.
So I went to the Palace game, Boxing Day game. Even though we basically Spurs won the game pretty quickly because Crystal Palace got a red card. I still think that the atmosphere was pretty good. In my opinion, it was good. Like if I were to take the survey, I would say I was pretty satisfied with the atmosphere in the stadium. But I've only been to one game, so it's probably not the best barometer, I guess. It'd be good to hear Elly's opinion, but she dropped out.
Yeah. William, they said 69% feel that flags and banners can help lift the crowd. I mean, you look at the Champions League semi-final against Ajax at the stadium. You look at the Arsenal game last year. I mean,
flags, Dermot. I love the idea of flags waving.
I do.
I think it just creates that atmosphere.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I wish they'd done it for every game, to be honest with you. Give that atmosphere.
Yeah, I do.
Every game's not the same, though. Unfortunately, every game's not the same. Like the Southampton game, I know it's the first game of the season. The atmosphere will be up for it. But normally, when you play Southampton or, someone like Fulham or Brentford, you're not going to get the same atmosphere as you are against Liverpool or Man United or Arsenal. You know what I mean? It's just not possible all the time. But I do feel flags and banners they really do give that, especially when you're watching on television, it gives that atmospheric feel to it, definitely.
It really does. And I feel myself that we've always during the years, we've always had flags, and even at the old White Hart Lane, there was always banners there was flags there was, I don't know, it's just, we need to make it feel like White Hart Lane again.
Well, remember the last game of the season at White Hart Lane? Yeah. Do you remember that atmosphere?
Yeah, I do,
look at the flags. That was unbelievable.
Elly says, my battery needs to be charged up a bit more. You're okay, Elly. We won't be going on for too much longer. I'm going to split this into two parts. We'll do the second part tomorrow evening. We got here now 52% of fans who identify as Jewish disagree with the club about moving on from using the Y word in relation to Spurs. We will be doing a show on the Y word. There's a lot more has to go into it, a lot more research, a lot more context to it. For me personally, I think it's I can understand why people find it offensive. I don't sing it personally myself. I used to, but then I stopped as I got older and understood what the word meant and why Jewish people would find it offensive. And as a Jewish club, I think we have to take their views and their opinions into consideration as a club. It's very hard to police it, I think, to stop fans singing it, especially at away grounds. But I think there has to be more education by the club to educate the fans about that word, about the Y word. And I think that for me would be another show completely. I would love to get your thoughts on it, William and Izhan, just very quickly, on that sort of the Y word. And do you think the club need to educate the fans more of the meaning of the word? And do you accept, William, when people don't say, and it does hurt people's feelings? Can you understand why it does?
Oh, I just think some people need to just toughen up a little bit, Dermot, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the world itself has become docile. I think you need harder, tougher people. The reason why tough times come is because it creates tough people who make great times. And when great times come, it creates weak people. And unfortunately, at the moment, we've got a weak society. People need to just grow up a little bit and take things on the chin and move on. I mean, these fans are just singing that word because it's a word that's synonymous with the club, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like if you're getting offended by it, like, I mean, there's many a time I've been called a paddy.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't offend me, mate, because I don't allow it to. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. I remember as a kid being bullied at school because I was Irish. And it used to affect me, but then I stopped letting it affect me.
Don't let it affect you. That's exactly the key to everything, is that, like I'm trying to teach my son at the moment, is that people can say things to you, but don't let it affect you. You got to toughen up. You got to get this exterior to you to toughen up, because it will matter in later life to you.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
I just think that the wrong narrative is being sprayed across the internet for young people, you know, and it goes from not just from this world, it goes from everything, from gender to everything. It's just not healthy for our young kids.
It's not. I agree with you on that. It's society has gone mad, to be fair. Yeah. I'm just trying to be fair I'm just trying to be fair to everyone. I'm very much a person that I respect everyone, respect everyone's religion, everyone's beliefs. And I'm very much conscious of, well, not conscious, the wrong word, but I like to get people's opinions on things. And I think your opinion, William, is more or less spot on. I think it's an opinion that probably the majority of our generation would think.
Well, get this, Dermot. Get this one, all right? This is a good one, and a lot of people wouldn't have heard of this. So there's rugby league that's very big out here in Australia. Yeah. All right? And a team that I follow is from Sydney, Manly. And they brought out, they're supposed to be celebrating Women in League that week, basically. But they brought out a pride jersey. So for gay and lesbians, whatever. And a lot of the players on the Manly team are from, of Islander descent, of New Zealand descent. Now, they don't, because of their religion and their beliefs, they refuse to play.
Yeah.
Now, those players took immense abuse for that. I think that's disgraceful, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Why should they be made wear something that they do not believe in? Why should they be forced into doing something because a narrative is being pushed on to them? What the hell is wrong with society that we think we can just push narratives onto people? That's why I think the world needs to toughen the fuck up, to be honest with you, and stop pushing these narratives onto people. That's why I think that who cares, man? Let them sing it. They're not trying to offend anybody. They're just trying to make people understand that this is their club. This is who they support, and they're not offended by other teams or other supporters saying that word to them. That's why they sing it to them.
Yeah,
It's to show them that they can stand up and they're bigger people than what they are. That's all it is. That's all it is.
No, fair enough. Fair enough, William. Izhan, I've got 2 comments here from Carl Simpson and Stuart. Carl says, to be fair, I stopped using the word a long time ago. That is my preference. Mind you, I usually call Spurs for worse than that. Far worse than that. Yeah, I agree.
So do I.
So do I as well. Hang on. We have here Stuart727. Has anyone on the panel met any Jewish fans that has been offended by the Y word? I have.
Yes, I have as well.
I have, and he explained to me why it offends him, and I get why. I understand why. But it's not a conversation I really wanted to go into. But William, I have to say what you said is, I think, very, very well put and very respectful for what was said. So big up to you, William, for actually being honest and actually saying this.
I'll always be honest, Dermot. Like you know yourself, being Irish and across the pond, how many times we have been abused in certain situations. You know all about it, you live there.
Yeah.
All right. And I've heard stories from hundreds of different Irish people that have got the same abuse.
Yeah.
And worse, and far worse abuse.
I remember even my mother, who's from Northern Ireland, my mother going into the butcher's, and I was a baby in arms, and they wouldn't serve her. Now, this is actually in England, and they wouldn't serve her food for dinner that night because of her accent.
Yeah.
My father, when my father came over from Mayo to England, he went to a bed and breakfast, and on the door was no blacks, no pets, no Irish.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my comment in the chat.
Yeah, I
just wanted to come on.
Yeah.
Before my battery dies again. Basically, that I do think the club's got double standards on it, right? Because when we played at Wembley, I'll give you this story, right? I had a flag, and it was a flag of my mum and dad's country, Cyprus, and I put THFC Cypriot Yids on the bottom, right? So I had it on my back, and one of the stewards came over to me and he said, I'm Jewish and I get offended by that. So please don't take the flag into the ground. So then I got up to the other steward who was also Jewish, and he said, don't worry about him. Just take it in and fly it like you're proud, because you're actually making a statement. And like William said, that we don't care that they're calling us that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
that's
why
all the
I
fans
did it.
use it. Yeah, that's why they sing
that's
it.
how I
They
use
only
it.
sing it because there's opposing fans saying terrible shit in the stadiums to them, and this is their way of using that word. It's like the blacks, okay, using the N word. They use it because it's their way of sending a message back to them.
Yes, it's an empowerment.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. If you get offended by it, honestly, if you get offended by it, you really need to take a look at your own self. I honestly think that. You think that you need to take a long, hard look at your own self and your own life. Because if you're that easily offended, seriously, you really need to take a hard, long look at yourself.
It's like, William, when the Greeks won the Euros in 2004, the Daily Mirror printed their Greek monkeys. They actually said that, Greek monkeys, right? And they said all Greek women have got beards and moustaches. So I phoned them up and I said, I made a joke with them. I said, I shaved my beard off this morning, so I'm coming at you with a beardless face.
I tell you what, William.
So you have to joke about it because these people, they're ignorant.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. They're ignorant. It's just ignorance.
I tell you what, William, we will do a show in this, and I want you on that show. I really do.
No problem, Dermot.
Yeah,
I'm not. Look, I just want. I'm not a flake. I'm
No.
not afraid to say what I think.
No, I know.
And I just think people need to toughen up. That's why I honestly think the young kids are being empowered the wrong way in life. They need to toughen up. They need tough times to toughen these kids up, to show them what real life is. Because when those kids step out into real life, they're going to fall flat on their face.
True.
And it's not good, you know. And you can't go around going, oh, like you hear these people on the internet and they're going, oh, well, you know, they shouldn't be doing this and they shouldn't be saying that. And I'm for these people and I'm for that people. Look, honestly, just be for yourself.
Yeah.
Look after yourself. Stop worrying about everybody else.
Yeah, that's something I've learned in the last couple of months, and that's something I'll talk to you privately with him anyway. About that. Izhan, you've been very quiet in the corner, bless you.
Because we all come from different ethnic backgrounds, you see.
Yeah, but I don't. Like I said before, I couldn't care less if you're black, yellow, red, orange, white, whatever. You're the same as me. You bleed the same as me. You breathe the same as me. You eat the same as me.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know, we all do the same things, but we might do it different. We might do it different with religion, with how we view our family lives, blah blah. But who cares? We all walk the one path.
Yeah.
We come into life and we leave
and
this life.
Diversity
Elly,
is
can
brilliant.
I just jump in there? Sorry, Izhan's got to leave us now. Thanks, Izhan, for everything you've done. And when are you back on Sunday?
Yes. I'm actually back on Saturday. Sunday will be difficult. Saturday, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll do the post-match show on Saturday. Izhan, thank you very much for the work you did on the Klinsmann thing. Again, geniusly done.
No worries.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was nice to see all about Klinsmann again, Izhan.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having me on, I guess.
No, thanks, Izhan. Sorry, the show went a bit sideways.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. We were going to discuss the poll on the Tottenham Hotspur Supporter Trust poll. There's a lot of things to break down, actually.
Yeah, what I might do is I might bring the rest of it onto Saturday when you're on. So I'd love to get your opinions on the other things as well. We will touch on as well the 3% of the Levy thing. That's another subject.
Yeah.
Just very, very quickly, Izhan, if you can give us 2 minutes. 85% approve of safe standing areas in top flight stadiums, and 83% would support a singing section. Would you like to see that? And what's your thoughts on safe standing again back in stadiums and the singing section?
Yeah, I'm pretty supportive of those two things. You can see from the polls, 83% and 85%. I think most people would like to see those things back. It's pretty harmless. It increased the atmosphere. It'd make it better. So I'm totally for those. A singing section and a standing section. I think it'd be really, really nice to see.
Yeah.
Well, Izhan, thank you once again, and again, apologies for.
No worries. No worries.
Thing went a bit.
The thing is, it makes it more of a real show, Dermot. You know, with real opinion, because the way Izhan presents it is fantastic. You know,
it's great work.
And he's evoking feelings by saying it, so it's a good thing at the end of the day.
It is. Izhan is our stats man. Is our Jack Kanicki on this channel. He really is.
He knows his stuff.
I know you've got to go, sir. So Izhan,
right.
Wilton McDonald said something that we all think of you. You are worth your weight in gold on this channel. So thank you for everything you do, Izhan.
Good man, Izhan.
Right,
we'll see you on Saturday, and we'll talk to you in between them.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Izhan. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Izhan.
Bye. Right, I have to say, I didn't think when I started that survey it would turn into one hell of an opinion.
Oh, sorry, Dermot. I didn't mean to take over a bit there, but it just needs to be said sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it is.
William, you're cool, man. You're cool.
I hope his hand wasn't offended.
I don't think so, man.
I don't think. See, I think he took something from it. You know?
Yeah. It's something that we will get into. It needs to be properly done, that show, and it needs to be properly put together and properly, I think, properly put together and get the right people on. But I will get you on for that one, William. You really would. Safe standing, guys. You glad to see it back? We all remember. Well, we all do remember
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. We have it at Crow Park, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
standing.
brilliant. Yeah, I think it's good. It's always keep a bit of the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to move forward. I get that. We have with the new stadium, but if you can keep a bit in your past, why not?
Yeah, there's nothing like a standing where you can go crazy.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
when you score a goal,
yes.
you can go crazy. But when you're sitting,
Yeah.
you can't. You can go crazy, but it's like on the spot.
Well, I was at Wembley in 2017 when Harry Kane scored a hat-trick against Southampton, and I was with my brother, and I remember, jumping up to celebrate the goal. It's not the same. No, it's not.
No, it isn't. Because you're on the spot, aren't you, William? And you're cuddling the person next to you.
Yeah.
And like you're bumping into people that you don't know.
Yeah. And you're nearly falling down into the next.
Yeah, you're nearly falling down. I know. And sometimes the fans behind you tend to bump you as well because they're going crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not the same as when you're standing. You can go really crazy mad.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
You could be at the top and end up at the bottom, isn't it, William?
That's so very true. Listen, guys, we're gonna end the show off here. We've been going now for over 2 hours and nearly 10 minutes. I was on another show tonight, the Cheese Room, which I actually enjoyed going on. Actually, I had a good laugh on there. To be fair,
they're good guys on there, man.
They are, and I really enjoyed it. So I had a good time. I've enjoyed this show tonight so much. I really have. It's been a giggle, as it always has been. William, I tell you, it's a joy to have you back on again. It really
I know.
is.
I love William.
I was away for a while. I've just been dealing with a lot of crap with work. Just trying to get more pay and stuff and whatnot. But I've sorted all that. And back, and I know you asked me a question, Elly, about what that lady said.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I know she said, look, we would miss out on top 4, but she was correct when you think about it. It was Arsenal that stuffed it up themselves.
Yeah, they did.
They did, big time.
But we still had to get that victory against them, and we scraped the Burnley win.
Yes.
We just about beat Burnley.
Yes, definitely.
We
got lucky.
In that game.
We got lucky. We got so lucky. Yeah.
And Newcastle done us a big favour, didn't they?
Yeah, huge favour.
Yeah.
But she did say between 7 and 8 players coming in, so there will be a few more. She's pretty much on the ball.
Yeah.
I put $1,000 on Spurs to win the title.
I know. I saw that the other night.
I know. Hey, you got to go for it.
You do.
It's going to be a weird Premiership this year. Trust me, this is going to be a weird one because we got a World Cup right smack in the middle of it. So if you've got really good form by the come of after the World Cup, you know, you might not have half those players in your team. Exactly. We don't know what's going to happen, you know. So anything can happen. We got Conte.
Yeah, Conte is man. That's something we'll be discussing tonight. We're back tomorrow at 7 tomorrow night, 7 GMT, with our season preview show with me, Elly, Philip Brady, I think Philip's on, and the one and only Mr. Dave Harris from the Irish Hotspur.
I'll be watching.
That would be brilliant to have him on. Listen, I hope everyone's enjoyed the show tonight. Izhan again, fantastic job doing his Jurgen Klinsmann player profile. We've gone through really few subjects tonight, which I think it's great. We've done it. This show really wasn't really put together. This show was just done as Klinsmann, and everything else I've just brought in as on the huff sort of thing, which is not usually what I've been doing lately. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun. William, where can people find you, sir? And do you have an Instagram? Do you have?
No,
clairvoyance.
No. I'm elusive. I'm very elusive.
You're the oh, what's the name? What did they used to call Michael Collins?
Oh Jesus! Oh yeah, there was a word for it. Yeah,
Something Pimpernel.
yeah. No, no, it wasn't that. No.
That's you. That's you. You're
Yeah.
the elusive Pimpernel.
The ghost. I'm the
The
ghost.
ghost. Yes.
Yeah, the goat.
You see him here. You see
And
him
the
there.
goat as well.
You see him everywhere.
Mm.
Elly, where can people find you apart from on here? Where else can
They
people
can find me on here on David's channel because it's fantastic, the Irish Hotspur. And I went on Sean's show today, Spurs Talk Show. Plug that gave us a good plug there. And also I enjoyed the show so much. It was a really good show. Coover was on as usual. I
Yeah.
love that guy. I nearly love him as much as William Kelly because William Kelly, you crack me up. You really do.
I do.
Your
I do.
comments
I
are
do love
legendary.
winding Chris up on the Irish Hotspur about Winks.
Yeah, about Winksy. He's not even gone yet. We haven't even sold
No,
him.
I told you they can't get rid of a good thing.
He will be going quite soon, hopefully. But anyway, you must be Winky lover then.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, Dermot. I wanted that guy gone for years, for Christ's sake. But I just say those things just to wind up people for the crack, you know.
There we go.
You
That's
gotta have
you.
laughter. You gotta have laughter in your life.
Yeah.
What's the point if you don't?
Carl's calling you the Scarlet Pimpernel and William.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
This man, I think this man has fought in Tottenham for absolute years. And if it's the same for he lives in
Yeah, I think he's 73.
He's 73. I'd love to get you on, Milton. If you can get in touch with us on our social media or email us, we'd love to get you on for a show because I would love to dive into your knowledge.
I found Wilton on Instagram.
Well, if you can get in touch with Elly,
so yeah,
we'll sort something out. We'd love to get you on, Milton,
I'll
and
talk to
about
him.
your time as
Just a quick question. What do you think of the new away jersey?
A wetsuit.
I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Every
really like
time
it.
I see it, I get the urge to go swimming.
I went to buy it, but they don't have it in extra large, so I can't get it.
It looks like a diver's suit, but it's growing on me as well.
It'll grow on you when you start seeing players score goals in it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Entire kit together, it looks all right.
Yeah.
Guys, there is the link for Dave's channel, the Irish Hotspur. They're trying to get up to 8,000. So please, everyone here, get over there and put a link onto his channel. Also, please, I want to big up the Sports Talk Show and also Flat Cap Euro Talk with Jack and Nicky as well. 3 great channels, 3 great hosts, and absolutely lovely people as well.
Yeah, don't mind getting them up to 8,000. Get them up to 16,000. Come on, push it on.
And get us to 1,000. But if we do that,
come
just
on.
subscribe
I don't mind 1,000, Dermot. Aim higher. 5,000. Aim high. Always aim high.
And when you're there, also press the link. Get your Patreon memberships. There's three different levels now: $3.99, $4.99, and $9.99.
I'll sort that out again, Dermot, with you. I'll sort that out. I'll get on the thing and sort that out.
The link is there, and
perfect.
Post-match games. Last Stuart77 said it looks better on the players with the whole kit. Yeah, I must admit.
It's always going to look better on the players than us.
Well, guys, thank you so much
I don't know. I thought it very well.
Elly, thank you so much.
Maybe when I was in my early 30s.
Elly's gone. She's gone to disappear and out. Right. It's half.
Maybe we should call Elly the ghost.
Yeah, maybe we should call it the ghost. Yeah, right. I'm going to go and see my other half. I haven't seen her all night, and so I'm going to go and spend some time with her.
Good man.
It's been a joy. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please, on your way out, like, subscribe. We're back tomorrow at 7. And whatever you do, enjoy your day, evening, or whatever you're up to. And whatever you do, in Conte we trust. And come on, you Spurs. Very quickly, William, what's Spurs going to do next season?
I honestly think they're going to win the title.
That's good enough for me. We should leave
No,
it.
I honestly do, Dermot. I really do. I think they're going to shock a lot of people. And I know people have issues with certain positions, but they're not finished yet in the transfer market. So don't stress. There's one or two more players coming in, but I think that this team is going to be very fit. And if they hit the ground running, and they get those results early, and especially at Stamford Bridge, that's a big one for us. Just do not go to Stamford Bridge and lose. But I think they can go to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea.
I think, to answer you, William, before we go, I honestly think they can get 13 points out of the first 6 games.
I reckon they can get to 15. I think they can get to 15.
If we can stay unbeaten before the World Cup, I think we're in for a chance.
Yeah, of course. Because we don't know what's going. The World Cup is going to be the strangest thing of this season, and it's going to have a huge it's going to have a huge effect on where the Premiership goes. Yeah. I really do believe. And if we're in touching distance of everybody else, we have a chance.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we're still here, Elly. We haven't finished the show yet, so we're supposed to. But me and William got talking. I just gone through these comments. Carl Simpson. And Jesus, my body don't too long.
neither does mine, but it don't stop me trying.
You know what? That's actually going to give me a nightmare tonight, Carl. Why did you have to say that? That's going to be in my head now. Honest to God. Wilton, it says, I'm not on Instagram, Elly. So I don't know which Wilton you found.
I must have seen. No, what it was another guy whose name was up, and then I think he might have commented on that guy's thing, but it might have been on Twitter or another thing.
Wilton's like me; he's elusive.
Yeah, he's like
Lord Lucan.
No, he's another Scarlet Pimpernel. Ellie's gone again. She's like the ghost. Oh, you're back again. Right. Wilton.
It's just my battery keeps on cutting out. So
Wilton put a thumbs up heart and the pray. Yeah, Wilton, send us an email because we'd love to get you on, so we really would. And Carl Simpson says, love you, Dermot.
Right. Yeah, we love you, Dermot. We love you, brother.
Yeah, I'm not that way inclined, Carl, but thank you.
I don't think he meant that, mate.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Is Carl Simpson Irish as well?
Yeah. I don't know, actually.
Actually, he did put a comment in this. He did put a comment earlier on, and he said, and I meant to go. It sounds like you're Irish, man, because he said, I can't pronounce my THs, which is an Irish trait.
Yeah.
He's got a speech. I think a speech. We're talking about Harry Kane's speech impairment, and he can't pronounce his T and H's.
Yes.
Which is a brave thing to put on the channel. So
I don't think he is, though. I don't think he is Irish, though.
No, I don't. But big up, Carl. You're always welcome here. We love some of your comments tonight. They've been brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic.
We are going to finish it off now. I nearly pressed the Tottenham tantrum, the old ending intro we had. I'm very tempted because some of the pictures on there are just something chronic. But we are going to do the Tottenham Gold one. And then, look, we've got one more comment. Is that from Carl? What's Carl saying now? Yeah. Hey, I've been married 11 years. I'll take anything. I'm English, but do have Irish heritage. Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, fair enough.
How many people in England have Irish heritage?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's everywhere, Matt.
That's because the Irishmen get about a bit, don't they? They're sowing their seeds everywhere.
Me and William.
They're naughty boys. Naughty boys.
Hang on. We're going to claim the Fifth Amendment on that one, is it, William?
I'm saying not. I'm in Australia.
I'm saying nothing at all. I'm claiming the Fifth.
I used to really fancy Robbie Keane.
Yeah, Robbie Keane was. He's a nice bloke too. Apparently, very
He's very
respectful.
Nice.
Yeah.
My daughter's met him. It's the Pona, and they got.
I met him one night in Dublin. I was out on the town in Dublin when I lived in Dublin, and he was crossing the road just across from O'Connell Street with Ian Hart, and Gary Kelly, I think, was with him because they just played for Ireland. And I stopped him halfway across the road, and I was talking away to him, and I was just asking about Spurs and what he thought of it and stuff. And he was brilliant. We just stood in the middle of the road talking to each other at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah,
that's one player I'd love to get on here. It's 2 players I'd like to get. It's Paul McGrath and Robbie King. I would love to get Paul McGrath, and I think Paul McGrath just lives down the road from me in Cumberland, I think. I
met Paul McGrath in a pub in Dublin as well, Dermot. And he was absolutely wrote completely off drunk. He couldn't even say his own name.
What a player for
And I just thought he had people with him.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, man, they're not your friends. Like, if you're that drunk, why aren't they taking you home? You know?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
But anyway, listen, we are going to end off now. Thank you all for watching. We're back tomorrow night at 7. With the pre-season show. Myself, Dave Harris, Elly, and Philip Brady will be on. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it anyway. And Shamu saying, big up Mr. Kelly.
Good man, Shamu.
Thank you, Shamu. Thank you, everyone. Anyone that has commented, please hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and please get the memberships. It does help the channel. God bless you all. Come on, you Spurs.